He did not set out to change the world. He only wanted to understand it. Charles Darwin was born in 1809 in England. His family was educated, but it was expected of him that he would choose a safe, respectable life. First, he became a doctor, but surgery, blood, and hospitals frightened him. Then he studied theology, so that he could live a quiet life as a clergyman. But within Darwin there was a restless curiosity. He liked long walks, collecting insects, watching birds, and asking questions whose answers did not come immediately. In 1831, when Darwin was only 22 years old, an opportunity came into his life, a sea voyage. He was invited as a natural scientist on a small ship. The name of that ship was HMS Beagle. This journey was supposed to last 2 years, but it lasted 5 years, and it changed the direction of human history. With the Beagle, Darwin crossed oceans, observed coastlines, and studied mountains and forests. He did not just look, he thought. Marine fossils found at great heights astonished him. Was there once a sea here? Has the earth itself been changing? Everywhere he found signs of life and death. Some creatures had already become extinct, some were still alive, and some seemed to form a bridge between the two. When the ship reached Australia, Darwin felt as if nature had set up a separate laboratory. The animals here were completely different from those of Europe. Kangaroos, wombats, platypuses, creatures that did not fit into any familiar category. Questions arose in Darwin's mind. If God had created all species at the same time, then why were they so different? And yet, why did they seem connected to one another? The animals of Australia forced Darwin to think that perhaps life had progressed along different paths in different places. The isolation here, the harsh climate, and long stretches of time, together they may have reshaped life. Later, in the Galápagos Islands, this idea became even clearer. Birds living on nearby islands had different beaks, according to food, according to environment. Those creatures that adapted better survived. The rest gradually disappeared. Darwin began to understand that nature does not reward anyone. It only selects. This was natural selection, a slow, harsh, but truthful process. But this understanding began to frighten Darwin. In the 19th century, saying that species change, and that humans are also part of the same process, was extremely dangerous. It challenged religious beliefs, social order, and human pride. Darwin became afraid. He feared society, he feared criticism, and most of all, he feared hurting his family. He hid his ideas for nearly 20 years. He continued to collect evidence. He studied pigeons. He researched shells and barnacles. He corresponded with scientists around the world. But this silence had a cost. His health began to deteriorate. Anxiety, confusion, and fear surrounded him. Darwin wrote, "Publishing my theory is like confessing to a crime." In 1858, when another scientist, Alfred Russel Wallace, presented the same idea, Darwin realized there could be no more delay. In 1859, he published his famous book, On the Origin of Species. The world was shaken. Some called it a victory of science. Some called it an attack on religion. Debates erupted in newspapers. Arguments took place in public meetings. But Darwin never claimed that he possessed the final truth. He said only this: "What I observed, I wrote." That was his greatness. Today, evolution is the foundation of modern biology. Genetics, medicine, environmental science, all are connected to Darwin's ideas. From understanding diseases to conserving species, his thinking is still alive. Darwin died in 1882, but by then, he was no longer seen as a rebel. He had become a great scientist. He was buried in Westminster Abbey, among kings and poets. Charles Darwin did not only tell us how life changes, he taught us that truth demands patience, nature is interconnected, and change is the law of life. We are not the owners of life. We are travelers in its long journey. And this is Charles Darwin's greatest legacy.